is probably one of my favorites here. Actually, is Weyland Yutani, and the reason I say Weyland Yutani is because they're all about space exploration, right? This company is really known for delivering. Obviously, it's central to the whole Alien series, right? Them going out and always trying to capture an alien is like, man, that makes a movie right there. They have all this technology. They've gone deep into space. They're old enough that they've got old relics that have already been taken over. So this company is an interstellar technology corporation, terraforming and colonizations, energy, mining, and logistics. But they're actually about acquisition of unknown life forms for weaponization. So again, the bioweapons division is always at the top of it. So they're always looking for these various life forms. And they act like they don't know, like, oh, oops, we kept finding these things. We're not looking for them, but really they are. That's what they're doing. That's why Ripley's mission, where they had a mission, it's like, oh, we got called over here. They already knew that signal was coming from over there. So they sent you guys over there to, oops, run into it, and then have to go over there and worry about your bonus situation. So this is what this is what they are. They're known for like their synthetic program, which is huge and has, been on both sides of the pendulum in this particular battle. Ash, who was a, complete dick, but you have, Andy, who was, I guess basically a cool dude. I like Andy at least. So, these guys, like if we look at David especially, he's the observer, but they can be agents of their own, and sometimes they're flat out independent thinkers. That's what we see from the synthetic program, and this makes up the landscape. It's super important there, and they're a combination of, they can be very curious, but they can also be flat out dangerous, right? Like they can actually be flat out dangerous. David, every single one of them. Ash was to me the most dangerous of them all. I mean, in that model, right? We would see that Ash model repeated over and over again. And so at sometimes, some of them can, Bishop kind of stayed to his Bishop didn't state his programming. Bishop stuck to, like, I'm not going to allow any harm to come to these people. So Bishop stayed on board. But for the most part, the other synths, they don't have a good track record. They have a good track record if you're the company, right? Overall, if you're the company and you're a Weyland rep and you design these synths, you should be very happy with what they do because they do a bang-up job of representing the company. Like, the interests of the company are what matters all the time, not just some of the time. Every single time, if there's any type of an issue and we're not sure who goes first, look at this guy, right? Even while he was dead, he's still talking shit about how you guys aren't going to make it out of here. Because he didn't want you to make it out of here anyway. He wants you guys to all have an alien in your chest and then you can't go home or you get stuck in some lab. So that's essentially where this company has been going. And they've been doing this for a really, really long time. Now, they're different from Umbrella because Umbrella is trying to force evolution on all of us, right, in a different way. But Weyland is all about discovery and exploiting things that they discover. Now, obviously, their main thing that they're all about, something far worse even than those crows, is, of course, the xenomorph, right? The xenomorph, and this is why it's such an amazing creature, right? I'm not on the xenomorph side. I don't even, because from a pure just adaptability standpoint, like, this is a part of Weyland's two components, that they hate people, right? They really do. So they're always looking for something that's better than us. And what do they constantly choose that's better than us? Well, machines, for one. That's why they've been developing these, like, AI, or, not just the AI, but like all those guys. They've been developing those guys for so long because we're too weak to do the mining work that they need. Ultimately, they want to mine, they want to terraform, and our bodies are too soft. So you go after these xenomorphs, which somehow you think you can tame, but obviously, like, as a bioweapon, they produce acid for blood. They have a very adaptive life cycle. They're fast. They're rapid reproduction. They have no hesitation or empathy. They go from a quick cycle from an egg to a face hugger to, a chest burster to an adult xenomorph. So this is truly weaponized biology. They're naturally military enhanced. They take directions from a central leader, probably using pheromones. So if the queen can be controlled, then you can control an army of xenomorphs, and that would be amazing. So these guys will be used for, like, establishment of other colonies. You could clear all the species out of a colony before you came in. Obviously, military and government contracts is higher on the list. In terms of research, who knows what you could do, right? You can make vaccines. You can, who knows what you can do with this amazing creature once you start getting to a cell. So we know the primary drivers, like this whole thing, Mr. Weyland. Then obviously we talked about Ash and David. These are kind of primary. Ripley, who almost brought the whole thing down, and almost brought it back to life at the same time. So what these guys are all about is they're about that biological data, man. That xenomorph is the highest target. They're about technology. They got advanced ships. They have advanced androids. They have terraforming. Human capital is another asset they have, and they don't care about you. If you're a crew, maybe scientists or the corporate operatives, you're more in line. They also have all their research data. So their core weakness is that they're arrogant about the unknown. They believe that they can take on this risk and ultimately control these xenomorphs at all of our peril, every single one of us. Because if they get out, just a couple of them get out, like they're done, right? So they're more than even Pandora. This is on a whole nother level, right? So on paper, these guys are one thing, but they're definitely way out there in terms of their risk factor. And eventually they're going to get some of these aliens on Earth. It sounds like they've already been here, but okay, so we'll have to deal with that once they decide just to go ahead and land. Okay. Now, the next one obviously is the main one I want to talk about today, which is Vought. And Vought is obviously, the main company in the Boys series, and has to be discussed in a way that is different